Okay, so today's lesson is using the chain rule, but with e to the x. And of course, that just adds its own little dimension. We hopefully understand that the derivative of e to the x is e to the x. So that shouldn't be the issue. But as we progress, you're going to notice there are times where they have e to the x, but they have some function up in the exponent. And so we have to treat that differently when we do its derivative. And so we're just going to call that the e rule. If you were to ask someone how to do the derivative of x squared, my hope is that each one of you would be able to tell them that is, of course, 2x. But what happens when you have e and in its exponent x squared? Because that is the part that we need to pay attention to. The derivative, just like we learned yesterday in the power rule, you're still going to handle the exponents the same way, just like you'll handle e to the x in the same way, with a slight little change. In other words, we understand that the derivative of e to the x is e to the x, so the derivative of e to the x squared to start is just e to the x squared. But we have to do the derivative of whatever is up in that exponent. And so then it would be multiplied by 2x. So just a formal way of writing that would be 2x e to the x squared. Let's do the next one. So e to the sine x. Again, that would mean e to the sine x times the derivative of sine. And so just to rewrite that, and that's how that would look. Let's try another one. Or maybe you could try this one. E to the 3x times what? 3. Good. And so it would be 3 e to the 3x. How about this one? In this case, you would want to rewrite this first. How do we rewrite 1 over e to the 2x? Did you remember that negative exponent? I hope so. So that when I do its derivative, what I want to do instead is e to the negative 2x. That part won't change. And then we'd have the negative 2. That would be the derivative of negative 2x. All right, last but not least, then this would be e to the negative x squared for the same reason that we saw right there. But now when I do its derivative, we would have e to the negative x squared times negative 2x. Again, that would be written as negative 2x e to the x squared. It's pretty simple. So let's just go back to this rule. What do you notice is the rule when you have e and then you have a function up in its power? What I would like for you to do is for Monday, and actually for tomorrow's class, I would like for you to write out what you perceive this rule would be. What is the E rule in a more general sense? Okay, so that's one of the things I'll be checking in your notes.